60 years old, 62, maybe 64, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet but persistent thought, have I done enough? Is there still time to make a real difference to what I end up with? The answer is yes. And the next 5 years, if you use them properly, are not just another 5 years of ticking along. They are the single highest leverage window in your entire financial life. The strategies available to you right now, specifically because of your age and where you are in the system, are more powerful than anything you could have done at 40 or 45. The rules were built this way deliberately, and most Australians either do not know about them or leave them until it is genuinely too late to get the full benefit. So let us go through exactly what those strategies are: real numbers, real rules, and the ones that make the biggest difference in the shortest amount of time. Right. Before we get into the strategies, one thing worth understanding clearly: the 5 years before retirement are not just about saving more. They are about saving smarter. The tax treatment of money inside super versus outside super is so different that moving the same dollar from your take-home pay into your super fund can be worth significantly more than it looks on paper. That difference, multiplied across 5 years, is where the real gains come from. Strategy 1. Salary sacrifice. And before you scroll past this because you have heard of it, hear this out. Because most people who think they are using salary sacrifice are leaving a significant portion of their available cap untouched. From the 1st of July 2026, the concessional contribution cap, that is before tax contributions including your employer's super guarantee, sits at $32,500 per year. Your employer is currently putting in 12% of your ordinary earnings as the super guarantee. If you earn $80,000 a year, that is $9,600 from your employer. That leaves $22,900 of cap space that you can fill with salary sacrifice. Every dollar you put in through salary sacrifice is taxed at 15% inside super. If you are in the 32.5% tax bracket, you are saving 17.5 cents in tax on every single dollar. On $20,000 of salary sacrifice, that is $3,500 saved in tax. In 1 year, every year for 5 years, that is $17,500 in tax savings alone, before you even count the investment returns on the money inside super. For someone earning $120,000 in the 37% bracket, the saving is 22 cents per dollar. $20,000 in salary sacrifice saves $4,400 in tax annually. Over 5 years, $22,000 in tax that stays in your retirement fund instead of going to the ATO. That is a real number. Worth sorting this week by contacting your payroll team and filling in a salary sacrifice agreement. Strategy 2. Carry forward concessional contributions. And this one, genuinely, is the most underused strategy in the Australian retirement system for people in their late 50s and early 60s. Here's how it works. If your total super balance was under $500,000 on the 30th of June 2025, you are eligible to use unused concessional cap space from the previous 5 financial years. From 2026-27, the maximum 5-year carry-forward amount is $175,000. That means instead of being limited to $32,500 this year, you could potentially contribute well over $100,000 in a single financial year and claim a full tax deduction on the entire amount. Who does this help most? Anyone who had years of lower income, career breaks, part-time work, time out of the workforce raising children, years where your employer contributions were lower because your salary was lower. All of those unused cap amounts have been quietly accumulating, and they are sitting there right now waiting to be used. Check your available carry-forward balance on my.gov by linking your ATO account and going to the Super section. It takes 5 minutes. Most people are genuinely surprised by how much unused space they have. Here is a real scenario. A 61-year-old woman who worked part-time through her 50s has a super balance of $320,000. She checks my.gov and discovers she has $115,000 in unused carry-forward cap space. She has just received an inheritance of $80,000. Instead of leaving that $80,000 in a bank account where returns are taxed at her marginal rate, she contributes it into super as a personal concessional contribution and claims a full tax deduction. At the 32.5% tax bracket, the tax saving is around $26,000 in that single financial year. The $80,000 is now inside super, earning tax-free returns in pension phase when she retires, and her estate is in a better position than it would have been. One decision, one financial year. Genuinely life-changing for some people. Strategy 3. Non-concessional contributions. After-tax money going straight into super. From July 2026, the non-concessional cap is $130,000 per year. And if your total super balance is under $1.68 million on the most recent 30th of June, you can use the bring forward rule to contribute up to $390,000 in a single financial year by pulling forward 3 years of contributions at once. Now, why would you put after-tax money into super if you have already paid tax on it? Because once it is inside super and pension phase, the earnings on that money are taxed at 0%. If that same money sat in a term deposit or managed fund outside super, the earnings would be taxed at your marginal rate every year. For someone with $200,000 outside super earning 5%, that is $10,000 a year in earnings taxed at 32.5%. $3,250 in tax annually. Inside super and pension phase, that same $10,000 in earnings attracts zero tax. Over 10 years, the difference in tax paid on those earnings alone is $30,000 or more. Strategy 4. Spouse contributions. And this one is particularly useful for couples where one partner has a significantly lower super balance. If your spouse earns under $40,000 a year, you can contribute up to $3,000 into their super and receive an 18% tax offset, up to $540 back on your tax return. Small in isolation, but combined with the bigger picture of balancing super between partners, it is worth understanding. Equalizing super balances between spouses is a legitimate strategy that can significantly reduce tax across a couple's combined retirement income. When one partner has a much higher super balance than the other, the one with more is potentially drawing down above the optimal tax-free threshold, while the lower balance partner has room to spare. Splitting contributions or making spouse contributions over time addresses this directly. Strategy 5. Check your investment option. Right now, because this is the one that gets almost no attention in the final 5 years before retirement, and it can quietly cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Many Australians in their early 60s are still sitting in whatever default investment option their fund put them in years ago. Some are in high-growth options that swing dramatically, which is fine if you have 20 years to recover, but genuinely risky in the 5 years before you stop working. A 20% market fall in the year before you retire when you are in a high-growth option could reduce your balance by $50,000 to $100,000 right before you need it. That is not a theoretical risk. It happened in 2020 and in 2022. Others have been moved into a conservative option by their fund's life cycle feature, which sounds sensible but can mean your money is barely keeping up with inflation during what should be your highest growth years. A balanced or moderate growth option, somewhere between 50 and 70% in growth assets, is where most people in the 5 years before retirement find the right balance between growth and protection. Check your current option. Most funds make switching free and straightforward online. Strategy 6. Find your lost super. And reckon this sounds too basic for a strategies video. The ATO estimates that over $13 billion in lost and unclaimed super is sitting across Australia right now. The average lost super account holds around $4,000. Some hold significantly more. If you have changed jobs multiple times across your career, worked casually in your 20s and 30s, or had periods where you were not closely monitoring your super, there is a meaningful chance you have a lost account somewhere. Log into my.gov, link your ATO account, go to the super section. It will show you every super account linked to your tax file number, including lost and ATO-held accounts. If you find one, consolidate it into your main fund immediately. The fees on a small forgotten account you are not contributing to can eat the balance in years. Strategy 7. Review your insurance inside super. Because in the final 5 years before retirement, the insurance you needed at 45 may no longer be appropriate, and you may be paying premiums that are reducing your super balance every month without realizing it. Life insurance, total and permanent disability, and income protection inside super are all valuable at the right stage of life. But as you approach retirement, your mortgage is likely paid off or almost paid off. Your children are grown. Your need for large life cover reduces. Premiums for insurance inside super increase with age. Someone in their early 60s can be paying $1,000 to $2,000 a year in premiums on cover they no longer need at the original level. That money, redirected into contributions instead, compounds inside Super for 5 years. Review your insurance inside Super annually through your fund's website or by calling them directly. Strategy 8. The downsizer contribution. If you are 55 or over and you sell your home, you can contribute up to $300,000 each, $600,000 for a couple, directly into Super from the proceeds. This is completely separate from the normal contribution caps. It does not count against your concessional or non-concessional limits. The downsizer contribution is one of the most powerful single transactions available in the Australian retirement system. Selling a family home that has grown significantly in value, contributing a portion into Super, and moving into a smaller property or a retirement village with lower maintenance costs can transform a retirement that looked tight into one that is genuinely comfortable. You only need to have owned the home for 10 years. You do not need to buy another property, and the contribution can be made within 90 days of settlement. For a couple selling a home in Melbourne or Sydney where values have grown substantially over 20 to 30 years, the combination of downsizer contributions plus the remaining proceeds invested appropriately can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to retirement income across a 20-year retirement. Strategy 9. Review your beneficiary nominations. And here's the thing about this one. It is not a strategy to boost your balance. It is a strategy to make sure what you have built actually ends up where you want it to go. Super does not automatically form part of your estate. Your will does not control your Super. Without a valid binding death benefit nomination on file with your fund, your trustee decides where your Super goes when you pass away. That decision may not align with your wishes. Binding nominations must be renewed every 3 years with most funds, or you can set up a non-lapsing binding nomination if your fund offers it. Check yours this week. It takes 15 minutes and protects everything you have spent decades building. Strategy 10. Get your numbers on paper before you retire. This is not a contribution strategy, but it belongs in this list because the people who get the most out of the final 5 years before retirement are invariably the ones who actually model what their retirement looks like. How much income do you need? What will your Super drawdown generate at 4%, 5%, 6%? What age pension are you likely to receive at your projected balance? What does the income look like in year 1, year 5, year 15? Most Australians arrive at retirement with a vague sense of where they are, rather than a clear picture. The final 5 years are the time to get specific. A licensed financial advisor can model this properly for your exact situation. The ATO's MoneySmart website at moneysmart.gov.au also has retirement income calculators that give you a reasonable starting point without cost. Here is what is worth doing this week based on all of this. Log into your Super fund and check your current balance, your investment option, and whether you have any insurance premiums being deducted. Log into my.gov and check your carry-forward concessional contributions balance and any lost Super accounts. And if you are not already salary sacrificing up to your available cap, contact your payroll team and start this financial year. The ATO website at ato.gov.au has the full detail on contribution rules and caps. MoneySmart at moneysmart.gov.au has retirement calculators worth using. Services Australia at servicesaustralia.gov.au has the age pension estimator. These are the 3 sites worth bookmarking if you are in the final years before retirement. Every week, this channel goes through what the rules actually mean for Australians in this stage of life, so you do not have to spend hours reading government documents to stay across it. If that is useful to you, subscribe to SuperEase Australia. Drop a comment below and tell me this. How many years do you reckon you have left before retirement? 5 years? 3? Already there? 1 line is fine. Helps shape what we cover next.